Yo. What it do was popping. It's the undeniable, the reliable, the one and only Triggatrey Night. And you already know where we at. We at episode 18. What it do?
Man, this your boy blkoutjones, man, the historian. And hey, what a feeling.
Yeah, this your boy, Mr. 211. I would have some merch on right now, but you know, mine is on work right now. We don't have it. I got faith. It ain't gonna be just like y'all. But for right now, we rocking Dunder Mifflin, baby.
And my name is karlitokannon, and
Kevin.
I feel like I'm the only adult on the podcast right now, so we're just gonna move forward. It's the look from Black, though.
Excuse me, I'm an adult.
No, all us is in
TJ, yes, yo, we're gonna get you right, good brother.
mine is on work. That's it.
It's on. We on. Yours is getting surgery done. That's all.
Right. It wouldn't be mine if it didn't need surgery.
It probably only happened because CMPunk felt all the hate that you were spewing that way and spit
in your heart
in the air. Cause
look, he felt that.
Come out with the love that it was.
For y'all that wasn't on the Zoom, this guy right here,
Tight.
that man was mad.
It's true.
Like he was like legitimately upset. So he was like, I ain't even watching this no more. I was like,
my whole face changed when it came.
Yo, mood changed. Like he could have stayed at home where he was at. Like
he could have stayed at home where he was at.
So now that you've had some time to cool off, has your view of it changed?
No.
Okay.
He could have stayed home. Like
hey, he's standing on business.
Talk about it later. So if we talk about it later, I give you my full.
So we stand. So you standing on business.
Yeah.
You can't do it with me.
Yeah.
Bro, when Tip said that, I was like, because listen, we here at the Beyond the Bell podcast do not support child abuse, but we do support.
Bro, that wasn't no child abuse.
If you would let me finish. We do support the old school adage of where you act up is where you will get beat up. Just saying. He got yanked up, you know, with them iPhone charger bricks in his mouth. Like you remember the white pack of gum that you used to pop the back out of? I can't remember what's the name.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I
know you're talking about.
Trident, those it wasn't the Trident.
Orbit,
it was the
Orbit. Orbit do that.
Or the 5
Every
gun.
tooth he got in there is Orbit joints.
Look, he's over there. Look, all you see is from the camera. He's like, get on me.
Yeah, that's all. I stand on business. What bit? Have y'all seen the picture of his grandma's house in the hood?
No, I have not.
Oh yeah, the value on grandma's house is like 1.2 million.
Yeah.
Wow.
I saw that.
Yeah, it's talking about his grandma's house in the hood.
Yeah,
I did.
This is grandma's house in the hood. The suburbs.
The subbibbities.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present grandma's house in the hood.
Stop lying. Hey, look, you know where that house from? That's the house that was on the cookout.
It probably was. But that's where he grew up, and he from the streets. Let him tell it.
Them streets, cuz.
You know who he is? He's B-Rad from Malibu. That's who he is.
B-Rad.
He's B-Rad from Malibu and DK Metcalf the touchdown.
At a Fiat, and you'll just be
Fiat. He said no.
Give me a ride, bust your ass.
No, I'm just not feeling it. I'm just not feeling it. As y'all can tell, my voice is still slightly gone. We had in the words of Mr. 211, we had a country good time at WrestleCade in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, the Benton Convention Center. From the Friday after Thanksgiving until Sunday, we ended up not even being able to go Sunday because my voice was gone and I was feeling like poo. So we just ended. We stayed inside. And in the words of Triggatrey, it was brick outside. So
Nah, I got all kind of hate for saying brick. Nah, we don't say that right here, cuz. Nah, we don't say brick.
Well, first of all, I ain't never say no cuz. Don't disrespect me like that. But
Cuz.
second of all,
Oh my gosh, here we go.
But second of all, yes, you got hate until I went out in that 30-degree weather. Yes, I was like,
and what it was.
I was like,
what it was outside then.
Brick.
Okay,
it was cinder block outside. It was cinder. Bro, why was it 24 degrees here last night? I was like, listen, it might not be a bigger Kobe fan on the planet than me, but can we go up one temperature? Can we go up 1 degree? Because it was cold.
That's that G Burrow.
That G Burrow is being so close inland, and then we got the mountains, and then it's meeting the water, wind, and it's a lot. It's a lot.
Cool, brisk, that cutting air, that air.
This is why I say
it cut through the hoodies.
He's like,
it was cut when it would have came down.
Oh.
Shout out to Brian. As y'all can see, I'm rocking a special limited edition, red only Beyond the Bell pod.
Hey, you see my joint shining up there, right? Oh my god.
Shining up there.
Hey, it's shining up there.
Shout out to Prime Grind once again.
Hey, shout out to them boys at Ashe Wrestling.
Shout out to Ashe
Women.
We made a lot of dope connections. Shout out to Danny Talks Wrestling. Shout out to AML. Shout out to GCW. Nick Gage, you the man, dog. Shout out to Mr. Sean Spears. If you know me, y'all already know. Shout out to Mr. Sean Spears, absolutely. Shout out to D'Lo Brown. He officially made the Beyond the Bell podcast honorary Nation of Domination members until 12:01 the following night. So
he don't know it's now.
Signed and co-signed by Mr.
Signed and co-signed by Mr. Ron Simmons.
Exactly.
Just saying. So we were legit Nation members. And can't nobody ever take that from the Beyond the Bell podcast.
And I wanna give a shout out to the fans that recognized us, that follow us here at Beyond the Bell podcast, which for me was a very humbling experience.
Very humbling.
I felt like it was celebrity status. Like, with the one guy that sat next to me, he was just so ecstatic that he was like, "Man, you're sitting right next to me." Like, you just like, this is why we do what we do. You know what I'm saying? Or in the words of my boy Karlitokannon, this is why we does what we does when we do it.
Just saying.
Hey, they'll find out soon what that means.
And if you don't know what that means, actually nobody knows what that means yet. But I promise you, y'all gonna come back. Y'all are gonna come back to this moment.
Go let them know, bro. Go ahead, and let them know since we on the topic, bro.
Go ahead, let them know,
bro. Let them know, bro. Since we on WrestleK weekend, the Beyond the Bell tradition. Why not let them know?
Well, might as well.
So since it's been a long time coming since we were able to get this up and running and to really get it to garner some strong and positive traction forward. But your boys is here. So let me take the glasses off. When I say we're not coming to change the game because this ain't no game to us, I mean that. When I tell you y'all not ready for what we got coming, I mean that. Coming to y'all soon, very soon. Your boy Karlitokannon and his brothers from the Beyond the Bell podcast and the Carolina Wrestling Cartel will be presenting an exclusive, unique, one-of-a-kind interview with the Samoan werewolf, Jacob Fatu. We got that coming to y'all. And when I say your boy asked the hard-hitting questions, it was an honor for me because not only was that our first actual in-person, in-studio interview, but he remembered the interaction that me and Blackout Jones had with him back in April or May. I think, or it might have been June. One of those summer spring months. One of them. He remembered our interaction from then. It was like, I really with y'all. I really with y'all. So we can get this done. He's like, I usually don't do interviews. That's not my thing. But he made an exception for the Beyond the Bell podcast. and it was an amazing experience. It was a very humbling one, as Blackout has already just said about meeting fans, actually sitting next to a true superstar who is about to be a staple in this industry, and have him, I don't want to toot my own horn, but to have him be impressed with our interview style and shout out our cameramen. Like, when you watch the interview, you will see why we enjoy doing what we're doing, but also why we feel how we feel about what we're doing. This is not just about to be some overnight success story from us. We put in the work. We've put in the grind. We started from the bottom. Drake said started from the bottom, and we mean it. We started from the bottom with this, and the tower that we're building, the structure and the structural integrity of this thing is unquestioned. So we just hope that you enjoy your first interview coming from the Beyond the Bell podcast. We got a lot more in store. I'm not going to spoil anybody else's surprises, but when I tell you some of the names that we got in store coming for y'all to be on this podcast, man, y'all come back now. You hear?
Hey, listen, it's in store. Black got something. Mr. 211 got something. I got something. Hey, bro, this is a family-oriented podcast. We love all our fans. We just want to thank all our affiliates. We want to thank everybody who supported us from day one and continues to support us. We just want to appreciate the real fans out there. And y'all already know what to do. Make sure y'all like, follow, subscribe, share it to your friends, share it to your family. All the socials are on the links below. Please, again, thank y'all. Show love. Share us out there with anybody who you know loves sports, loves wrestling, and just loves life, period. Because you already know what we do at Beyond the Bell podcast. We go beyond the bell.
And if you see us out, touchdown, CeeDee Lamb. If you see us out, don't be afraid to come speak, bro. We just like y'all. We still fans at heart. I had one fan at GCW where we're in there networking and meeting with people and just chopping it up and talking, being real ones. And she's like, you know, one of the guys asked, what's the name of your podcast? I'm like, Beyond the Bell podcast. The girl next to us is like, I already follow you guys. And I was just like, that was one of those really humbling moments where it kind of makes it real that, okay, we're not just personalities, you know, we're people, but we have, you know, we have some skin in the game. And we have people that love us, and to y'all, we sincerely and truly thank y'all for the support. We thank y'all for the love, because we definitely wouldn't be where we at now without y'all. And seeing where we're gonna go, it all starts with you.
I want to say this one
shout out to our youngest known fan, a little man that I met in the line for the show Saturday night.
Yeah,
he was just like, y'all a podcast? I was like, yeah, man. He was like, what's the name of it? I was like, you know, I pointed to the merch. He subscribed right then on the
in line. Gotta love it.
In line.
Gotta love it.
I also want to shout out and tell people, this is just a motivational tidbit real quick. I'm not going to hold it too long. But as far as to anybody that's out there that's, you know, on social media, that's getting a foothold into creating content, that's out there starting their podcast, whether that's video podcast, audio, keep the dream alive. Understand that it doesn't matter if one person is listening, 20, 2,000, 500, a million, it don't matter. Just know that your ability to gravitate and grab people to your words, to your podcast, to your content, like I said, that's a blessing in and of itself. So just make sure you continue to keep the dream alive, continue to adapt, continue to learn, and be open and willing to get out there, network, learn from other people, and continue to make yourself better. So we appreciate y'all. We appreciate everybody that's put into us and giving us the knowledge and giving us an important wisdom into us as we go along this journey. So we thank y'all. We appreciate y'all. And here we are, giving y'all episode 18.
And one more thing to add to my brother's, you know, ingredients for the soup that he just gave y'all. It doesn't happen overnight. Understand, there's going to be days where your videos will get no views.
Facts.
And there's days where you'll start trending.
Facts.
You know, we've had Kurt Angle like reels that we've done. You know, we've had superstars, you know, talk about us on their actual stories. Shout out to Sean Spears.
Facts.
You know, and then we've had days where it seems like we're not getting any engagement at all. Those things are going to happen.
Facts.
There goes facts. But just like you said, keep the dream alive. Keep doing what you're doing, because these days do not last forever. And with that being said, a lot of things don't last forever. You know, CM Punk being exiled from WWE didn't last forever. If you are living up underneath a boulder that has a rock on top of it, I don't know how you missed it. I don't know how. CM Punk, Chick Magnet Punk, is back in the land of sports entertainment.
Charles Montgomery Punk.
I called it on here. Just saying, I called it on here. There was really, and apparently he got a really big money offer from Impact, but there was really nowhere else to go for him. There was nowhere else to go. Like, you can go to Impact, but the next destination and stop after that's going to be WWE. You know, you could have went to New Japan. The next destination and stop after that's going to be WWE. Like, let's be honest, and I'm gonna run through a list of names. I'm gonna run through it, and it's a star-studded and stacked list of names that I'm about to run through. Because a lot of people say never. That's absolutely true. And a lot of people say you can always go home. That is absolutely true. Bruno Sammartino, Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, The Ultimate Warrior, Shawn Michaels for a stretch, Stone Cold.
Hulk Hogan.
I said Hulk Hogan, Terry Bollea. All were either excommunicated or exiled or left under very, very, very tumultuous terms.
Yeah.
I didn't say one name in particular for a reason, because I want to say that when this person came back, this was the person for me that made me really realize never say never. And like I said, don't get me wrong, because Bruno was one of the last holdouts. Bruno was just never going to come back, but Triple H interjected in it. But when Jeff Jarrett came back and Vince McMahon was still around, that's when I realized, okay, never say never to anybody. JEFFJARRETT, when he came back and was featured in a prominent role on a PLE, I was like, okay, it's possible for anybody.
Right.
And the thing people have,
I said, Brett ain't do that for you?
Nah, because Brett's a son. Brett is a son. You know what I mean? Like, Vince didn't publicly fire Bret Hart on national television.
And he still felt bad about it.
You know what I mean? And he felt bad about the screw job. Like, he didn't want to do that, but it was business. He had to do it. But Jeff, like, when he bought WCW and you know exactly the moment I'm talking about. For him to have done that and still let Jeff come back home, I was like, okay. Goldberg.
Wait, one second. We remember the simulcast and everything, but let's live in the world of kayfabe for a minute and a half.
Okay.
Vince didn't sign the thing. Could he actually have fired Jeff Jarrett? That shit wouldn't have stuck.
It wouldn't have stuck, yeah. And that's like you said, that's living in the world of kayfabe. Shane would have had to be the one to sign it.
So Jeff Jarrett had a job this whole time.
Technically, he had a job the whole time.
He had a job this whole time.
That's just like, Curtis Axel was never really technically eliminated from the world. You know what I mean? Like,
let it be known, Jeff Jarrett is my man of steel of the week.
But another name, but another name that it reinforced, you can always come home and never say never. And this one has nothing to do with Vince. This one has to do with Triple H. And this is what let me know Triple H would always be willing to do what was best for business. When Scott Steiner went in the Hall of Fame, I was like, oh, anybody can come back now. Anybody can come back now.
Oh, facts.
Because we're at the point now to where this is Triple H's company in essence. So anybody that has a beef with him and they're starting to come back, anybody can come back. But for years, Scott Steiner has said in the press that Triple H was on steroids and he never had as good a body as him and he was never a great worker. Like, he's talked cash about Triple H. Yeah. And even he got to come back home. Anybody can come back.
What about Angle?
So Angle's another son to me. Like Vince,
but how he pulled it off and how he left, though.
He left, yeah.
So I don't think he left in a worse way than a Warrior or a Jarrett. Like, Warrior held Vince up for like $500,000 the night of the show. It was like 3 something. The night of him being in the main event of the pay-per-view. A Big 4 pay-per-view at that.
Did you know his contract was up the day before, so he was working without a contract.
So
you go to him,
for him to be able to come back, or like I said, the Jarrett thing, because Jarrett held up Vince for wanting to do the job to China.
Yeah.
And I think he got like 700.
Who?
Jarrett. Like Jarrett got.
I listened to the podcast. I listened to his podcast. It was only
how much? His was only 3 too? No, I think his was more.
Bro, because who pulled up 3 at back? Look, who pulled up 3 in Gorilla? Shoot.
That's a check.
Yeah. I mean, you know what though? 3 to Vince, but 3 to Vince back then was a drop in the bucket for what they were bringing in weekly for revenue and stuff. 3 was a drop in the bucket for Vince. But I understand business wise why you can't allow somebody to hold you hostage and then you feed into the demands. We don't negotiate with terrorists.
Because then everybody gonna be doing it then.
Everybody gonna do it.
Nashville came up backstage and like, hey, bro, run me them buckaroos, cuz.
Exactly. So for Punk. So for Punk to come back, it didn't surprise me. For Punk to come back in Chicago, it didn't surprise me. For Punk to come back at the end of Survivor Series, it didn't surprise me. Nothing about him returning surprised me, but I still popped. Not the biggest Punk fan. No. Not the, because if y'all remember, y'all were sitting down, and remember, I stood up and walked to stand in front of the TV, and I was like, wait, because we saw the graphics, and I told y'all, just wait, because I had a feeling. Because the last time that happened in Chicago was the Ciampa turn on DIY, which I still, if you are a follower of Beyond the Bell or Karlitokannon, Wrestling's Real Fan Chop Shop, DeAndre, Purely Ignorant, whatever, I've never actually gone back and rewatched the DIY breakup. I've only seen it one time, and that was live. I only watched it. I can't, as a fan, as a diehard fanatic of DIY, I can never go back and watch that moment. Even though it gave us, heel Ciampa, who is, that run was legendary, but I'll never watch that run. The last time Triple H did that was then in Chicago. So for that logo to pop up and they were still in the ring celebrating, and then they did the long, slow pan outs, I never knew that.
I should have saw it, but it was in the like Blackout said that night. It was in the back of my mind, and I was like, "All right, well," because like Black Carly, he's like, "Bro, we just don't see it happening because of what's been going on, like the trolls." So it's like you just don't know, and you just be like, "Hey, bro, it's just kind of over with. I don't want to get like too into it.
You don't want to get into it, and then it don't happen, and then
right. And then when that joint
said, I was like,
"Oh."
And then I turned around. I remember, Sharon, that's when you tossed the chair. I turned around and just went and sat down because I saw it coming. And it was good that I saw it coming because it let me look at everything that was happening in the moment. The response from Drew, I'm sorry, not Drew, but the response from Rhea, and because you could and they panned and then they went back because then they tried to keep it focused on Punk, which was smart. Because apparently
they got a little bit of hard side camera too. No shade.
Exactly. Which is crazy because I know Punk, I saw the meme, but I'm going to say it again. I know Punk was like, wait, there's people on the hard side? Like, oh, wow. Okay. Wow.
I remember y'all.
Wow. I remember when people sat over here, which is crazy because Collision was doing good numbers before he left.
Before he left.
Well, before he got fired. Let's call a spade. Let's be honest, he got fired. I'm sure he was leaving at that point, but he got fired.
At a wrestling show.
Yeah, it's like somebody's life was in danger. Oh yeah, we got to talk about that too. I got to mention that real quick. Somewhere else down the line, irrelevant. Not now because it's irrelevant, but somewhere irrelevant. But Punk coming back. Punk coming back was you. That's how I felt when I saw that news. I looked at it just like, Punk coming back though, it set the world on fire the way it was supposed to. what 57 million views in less than 24 hours across WWE. That's ridiculous. 57 million.
I felt bad for Randy, but
and we're gonna add on and we're gonna talk about that. But his return to WWE has outdone numbers his return to AEW's done. That right there alone, on the merits of its own, there, right there, already makes it a bigger return.
And I think even that is because of like what it was left with.
Yeah.
The time away, and plus, in a sense, we say never, but we definitely did not see it happening, or we thought like, hey, bro, like CM Punk, WWE, done it over with. He already, said what he said in AEW. He said what he said during the interviews before he even came back, and to, in a sense, humble pie, just take it all in and just say, I know where home is, and like just taking that moment, because when he was down on the ground and he had that, for me, I felt the connection there to where it's like, dang, it took all of this for me to come back, and it may not. Look.
Well, sleep. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. So it is crazy though, because you mentioned feeling the connection. Mm-hmm. That crowd was crazy,
astronomical.
That crowd was crazy, and it's almost so much sweet justice that it happens in Chicago. Like it's almost like a vindication for him, because let's be honest, him going to AEW, he felt like he had unfinished business. He had some left in the tank. It doesn't matter what you do or where you go if you don't come back home to finish your unfinished business. You know what I mean? That's like, you know what I mean? That's finish the story. That's like if we do the Beyond, well, no, we're not going to tease that, because that's never going to happen. We're never going to split up. That's like the Shield. Prime example. That's like the Shield. Seth and Roman are still there. That's like if Ambrose left AEW and was like, I still got unfinished business left to handle in wrestling, and then he goes to Impact. You can't really finish the story somewhere where your story ain't, you know what I mean? Like Punk never had a story in AEW that started in AEW. You know what I mean? Like all his stuff that was there is stuff that started after he got there. But for him to come back to WWE, it's that now you can finish your unfinished business. We know you want a WrestleMania main event. We know that that's probably your number one negotiating factor. And now that there's 2 nights, you can get it, no problem. We know you probably still, because you funny and petty, you still probably want the ice cream bars. You're probably going to get those now.
It's going to sell and move.
He got him in AEW.
Yeah, he had him in AEW, but it ain't going to be the same. It's, you know what I mean? Like, because WWE ice cream bars started, decades ago. Like the ones AEW came with, cool, but we want the rehash of the joints from the 90s. Like that's what, that's what we wanted as fans.
I remember the Big Boss Man joint.
The Big Boss Man. I don't know why that's like the only one I remember.
That's what I'm saying.
Like that's the only one I remember. But Punk coming back was definitely, it was what was best for business. He'd done everything he could do in AEW. He feuded with Mox. He feuded with Paige. He feuded with MJF. He teamed with FTR. He won the world title. Like he unfortunately did the same thing that MJF is doing right now. He reached that peak to where no matter what you do after this, you're gonna just be here now. Like nothing else, because you worked with MJF already. Like that was the money feud for you. Maybe a Malachi feud would have been something special to see, but it wouldn't have been this. Feuding with Paige didn't really do anything for him, but the promos are still what's memorable between that. You weren't going to get really any more scathing than those promos with the way they was talking junk about each other. Teaming with FTR, we know that's why you wanted them on Collision. Like there's nothing else he could have done minus the CM FTR versus the Elite. That's the only other thing. But other than that you worked with Joe for a world title at the biggest wrestling show outside of a WWE event in history. And what else could he have done there? That was your swan song, and you left with the belt this way and holding up the one. Like, and that's what I remember commenting on the Fall from Grace video. I saw that then, because now you've gone there, you spray painted that big old X over that belt. You said that I'm the real world champion. You go out, you acknowledge Roman in the bloodline, because that's what you were doing, let's be honest. And the last visual anybody sees of you is not your face. It's of the AEW belt on your back with a big old X across it. Dog. That's tough. Like, how do you bring that image? How do you kill that imagery? You can't, right? Like, that's the last thing anybody's gonna think they saw with CM Punk, which means now anytime I see that AEW belt.
Do you feel like it just like disgraced the belt to where it doesn't mean anything to anybody
else?
So
it's a world title. At the end of the day, it's still a world title, and he was not the official champion when it happened. So if he was the official world champ and was doing all of that, then yeah, I think that disgraces the belt. But because it was a storyline that was being pushed, and to be fair, it was true though, because they gave everybody else an interim title, but not Max. But I understand both sides of that, because it's your world champion, so you can't necessarily do that. You did it with Punk. You did the interim champ with Mox. He was the interim champ, and then it was title, which was stupid, which that was dumb too. But him coming back is what's best for business all around. The amount of media coverage, the news, the noteworthy. I mean, ESPN covered it, and they didn't cover it in the scope of wrestling. They covered it in the scope of CM Punk, the superstar, returns to WWF television.
Shoot, the Times got it.
WWE.
The Times got it. The Times got it.
Can I stand on business real quick?
Go ahead.
I don't necessarily disagree with anything that's been said about CM Punk from the moment he came back.
Okay.
But I don't think he came back for the reasons people think he came back.
He said it Monday night. He said, "I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money."
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But my thing is, he left WWE originally, right?
Mm-hmm.
Went on his tirade. I hate WWE. Blah 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 blah. Step back to backstage. Okay, we can let that roll. But then he went back to AEW. Everybody was like, "This is the one. This is the one."
Mm-hmm.
It didn't work out the way he wanted to. Mm-hmm. So my question is, where else was he gonna go?
Impact. Apparently the talks with Impact with Scott D'Amore were very lucrative. They were gonna make him the richest TNA offer in history
of all time.
That's fine. But okay, so let me rephrase my question then. Where was he gonna go that would have made the most difference? If he went to Impact, they would have just been like, cool. He's an Impact. I don't have that channel. So it's just like, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. He came back at one of the big four in WWE, a place he said he would never come back to, and all that old stuff. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to say he did it out of necessity, but he did it because that's what he could do to make the biggest
splash.
Impact.
Yeah. No pun intended. But to be fair,
sure. Was he going to be there? Sure. All that stuff. But that's why I was just like, of course.
But also to be fair to TNA, right now we're about to go through a branding. We're about to go through a rebranding. And let's be honest. Let's be honest. If there is a free agent out there who can help negotiations for contracts, like contractual network, it is him. If Impact signs him and they say, listen, this is our vision. CM Punk's going to be one of the faces of the company. We're reverting back to the TNA brand, and we're going to be focused more on the wrestling product as well as higher production. A network might be willing to take a chance on them signing Punk and saying that.
Now, when's their current deal up, though?
So that's the question, because the rebranding isn't happening until after New Year's. So I don't know when their current TV deal is up either, though. That's the thing. Like, it's so hard to find news about Impact. Scott D'Amore and them keep a lot of stuff close to the vest.
But you see what I'm saying? If he would have went to Impact, the New York Times wouldn't have covered that. ESPN may have covered that.
Yeah, maybe.
He went back home.
I see what you're saying.
He could go back home. and you know what I'm saying. I mean, he's gonna make money wherever he goes. But it was just one of those things where it's just like, of course you did this.
It's the most beneficial for him.
Look,
because he's gonna be benefiting an organization no matter where he goes. But him going back to, so what you're saying is him going back to WWE was the most beneficial for him.
Right. It wasn't best for business. It was best for Punk.
It was best for his business.
WWE was making money hand over fist anyway.
Regardless.
So they're just gonna make that
record-breaking profits.
Which is fine, but he did that for his pocketbook.
So understand,
okay,
and I'm gonna get to that TNA point, but I want to start with this. If anyone realized this ball was in motion a long time ago when he when he was suspended and he showed up backstage at Raw. And he spoke with Triple H, spoke with The Miz, a couple more people, and then Vince found out he was there.
Dipping his toe in the water.
Just to see what it is, you know what I'm saying? Then Vince was like, nah, you got to get up out of here. So leading into TNA, like 211 said, it wouldn't have been lucrative. You know what would have happened? Even if he would have signed with TNA, people would have still been saying, oh, I don't know why they got that old dude. He's washed up. He's this, that, and the third, but since he's in WWE now,
all of a sudden it's the greatest thing. But you know what though? And somebody asked me that, and I had to correct them. Shout out to Gaines. If you're watching this episode, Gaines, like, yes, I'm about to talk about our conversation. The washed up and the old guy conversations will work in AEW. They'll work in New Japan. They'll work in, because Tanahashi, unfortunately, is washed. It's so sad. I love Tanahashi. Ace is my favorite New Japan talent, I think, ever. The old washed up, it works in every other organization except WWE because of the in-ring style. Punk can have excuse me, I'm so sorry. Punk can still have 15, 20-minute WWE-style matches without looking as gassed as he did in AEW. Why? Because the in-ring is more story-driven. The in-ring is not as spot-heavy. He doesn't have to be doing suicide planchas. He doesn't even have to do the top rope elbow drop now if he wants to. He doesn't have to do anything outside of what he probably did to get back in shape to even get in the ring in the first place. The style is not as physically demanding. The bumps are not as physically demanding. You know, your boy from Top Flight just came back last night from that horrific, gruesome injury that should have happened.
I don't even know why they even showed that again, but whatever.
But that's the thing. When's the last time we seen an injury like that in WWE?
It's been a long time. I shouldn't have let
The last one I can remember that gruesome is probably Joey Mercury. When he got his leg.
You know what my mindset was on when Kurt Angle put Scotty 2 Hotty in the ankle lock and snapped it.
Yeah.
It
might be. It's either that or it's the Hardcore Holly when he got whipped into the stairs and had that massive lasso. But you don't see horrific, terrible, debilitating,
sir.
Debilitating bone injuries, or you don't see things like that in WWE because the in-ring style is just, and a lot of people have issue with it, but that's why The Miz is able to do what he's doing now. To say you saved your career for year 20 and then be able to come out and put on a banger.
But then you have to understand, you have to go back to AEW, and the injuries that CM Punk had were self-inflicted.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Jumping into the crowd. Trying to jump out the rope, slip, boom.
But it's crazy because a lot of the stuff, but once again, that also comes with the network and the territory. A lot of the stuff that he did there, he's not going to be able to do in WWE. A lot of stuff AEW talent does, you're not going to. That's why, y'all remember how, looking back at the Raw post, we were so shocked to see Randy Orton signing autographs on his way to the ring. Yeah. You don't see stuff like that on WWE television. No. Not signing of autographs.
Vince not there anymore.
Vince ain't there no more. So the question, I remember our very first episode was originally supposed to be before we changed the format, before I brought you guys in. Me and Shaw, shout out to Dr. Shaw, the other half of the Double Dose of Knowledge. and one of the 66 2/3 of the Carolina Wrestling Cartel with us. Our very first episode was supposed to be titled "Who is currently running WWE?" Triple H or Vince McMahon, and this was around the time of post this year's SummerSlam. We were supposed to start to try to run that. It was like, I don't know, because Trips took over and then Vince came back, and then Vince was not running it, but then Vince was doing last minute adjustments, and it was just like, who's doing what? Now, this is an undisputed, undeniable answer to a question that don't even have to be asked now. Who's running this show?
Yeah.
Because Vince didn't bring CM Punk back. Nick Khan brought CM Punk back with Triple H backing the idea. Yeah. And apparently the conversations leading up to him coming back between him and Triple H had nothing to do with him coming back. It was just them mending their relationship. So TJ, you're saying it's not best for business. Like Triple H said at the press conference, if it's something that our fans want, it's something that they can get into. And just like Roman said, if it's a story that can be told and it's something that the fans will actually legitimately want to see, we'll do it.
Well, I'll tell you this right now. To me, and just combating that point, even though it may feel like it's not best for business, it's always going to be best for business because of the era of wrestling that we are in right now. Just understanding scope and the totality of the circumstances when it comes to where we are, when we're coming to network TV deals, when we're pushing forward to get to the top of the food chain and be this big monopoly in the whole wrestling industry where we are number one. We've been number one for so long and we're not trying to let up. I understand when it comes to CM Punk, he is not the best and not the favorite in anybody's eyes, but that's what anybody in wrestling. You're gonna have people that love you, you're gonna have people that hate you, that have people that's in the middle, that's neutral.
As long as they talking about you.
But that's the thing about Punk. Punk is a conversation starter. Punk is a money mover. Punk is a merch mover. Punk is going to be somebody no matter what. He is going to, you insert Punk anywhere, he's going to bring the viewers, he's going to bring the dollars, he's going to bring everything that you need in a company that you want out of a company that the fans want. It matters no way. It could have been 15 years from now. Everybody would have still loved Punk. I mean, don't get me wrong. You got some, I mean, like JR said, it's going to be fans that's in that crowd that's from AEW. It's not that they choose, either or side. They're with both of the products, but they're in it for the source of wrestling because they love wrestling. This is probably one of their guys that's their needle movers. That's going to be something that we see in the future when it comes to maybe a feud with Roman Reigns, who is the actual needle mover in wrestling. Don't get me wrong. Roman's going to move it, but you're going to have people that's going to argue that CM Punk is that needle mover. No matter what, no matter where he goes, he's going to draw. He's going to get you the viewership. He's going to get you the money. He's going to get you the TV deals. He's going to be the hottest selling merch. So LA Knight can move over. Roman, Jay, Cody, it don't matter because we already know what's about to happen. So go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead and finish.
So when you have this one guy that controls the narrative, no matter how good or bad it is, he's going to always flip that light switch on. It's going to catch fire no matter where it's going. CM Punk is that guy, and you got to give it to him. He is that guy. He may not be that guy in a lot of people's eyes, but he is the one that affects change no matter where it's good or bad, and he's going to get people talking regardless.
And Black, before you make your point, because I know it's about to be a good one, I'm gonna just say this. John Cena said it best. I don't care if you cheer me. I don't care if you boo me. As long as you're making noise. Like I like he's just, you'd rather come out to boos than no reaction at all.
Big fact.
Good publicity, bad publicity. As long as you're talking about me, I don't care. And that's Punk, because there's gonna be. Like we saw in the crowd, there was a sign that said "Cry Me a River," and it had the Pepsi logo drawn out and CM Punk underneath it crossed out. There's gonna be, because we're a vocal majority, in the fan base. Hardcore wrestling fans are very vocal, and if they like you, they like you. If they love you, they love you. If they hate you, they hate you. You're gonna know how they feel about you. But with Punk is one of those people. Punk is the new polarizing superstar. He's gonna be the he's finally gonna be able to be the John Cena of an era. He's gonna be the guy. Certain cities are gonna cheer him. If WWE goes to Jacksonville, Florida ever again, are they gonna boo that man out the building?
Yeah.
So it really depends on where they go, because that's what I'm interested in seeing. Because that crowd, when he came out, and I don't know if they were tired or what, but that crowd was not. Yeah, that crowd was not.
It started off high, and then it was like, especially during the segment of the promo.
Yeah, Nash got tired.
But I think they probably thought about doing it. I think they should have started off the show with the promo. I think just to give it that pop and then go from there.
Punk was always gonna close the show. He had to, just because it was one of those like, I'm hungry.
But the thing is,
but I'm hungry.
But you get so many surprises on that Raw, like where you get Raw, like with Randy and Dom, like surprisingly, it was a great match, great interactions between them. Just went a little long, which cut CM Punk's, a
little long. It went a little long. I agree with you on that. But what was you gonna say, Black?
And speaking on TV deals, CM Punk could be the catalyst of Raw going to Warner Brother Discovery.
Oh yeah. Causing for AEW to possibly not even be part of Warner Brother Discovery, unless Warner Brother Discovery wants both of them on the channel. That's so hard to see. That's so hard to see, because not only do you already have people who feel like they watch too much wrestling, i.e. us.
You want to kill them.
Imagine knowing you gotta watch Monday Night Raw, and it's on the same network.
Yeah.
So my thing is too, on that, you go into the actual war on the same.
Oh yeah, that's direct. That is McDonald's across the street from Burger King. Now that's direct competition. You at the red light. You at the red light. Now you got to figure out to turn left or turn right.
But even then, I don't even think it's like you got to figure out to turn left or right. It's just like you're there. It's like you sit here, you watch this, you watch that, but who's really going to like tune in to them on the same network? Because not only does it really truly kill AEW,
this was an early death blow. It's not the death blow, but this is that third shot to the left flank that you're putting pressure on, but it's still bleeding through. This is one of those shots.
Because according to reports, they were saying that when Tony Khan and them pretty much fired CM Punk, they were not happy about that.
No, yeah, that's
he's
a needle mover.
Yeah, they were not happy about that whatsoever, and I think that's what's causing negotiation issues as far as how much money. Now, I think whatever the money was is not that anymore.
It ain't that.
You know what I mean? And that's where the negotiations are having. They're having problems with negotiations between each other now. Yeah, Warner Brothers Discovery still sitting out here saying that we enjoy our time, and we still would love to work with you, but they're not putting out but your value is kind of a little low now. You know what I'm saying?
We're gonna get moved to Friday at 11.
So even then, it comes to, I know they were saying something about not only Warner Brothers, but they were talking about FX, which Disney owns. Then you talking about Amazon Prime.
I don't know if I can watch wrestling on FX.
Oh, no.
That would be like not. And I mean, I guess maybe that's just me being an old wrestling fan. Like, when you think of a certain network, you think of certain things. I think of Sons of Anarchy, Snowfall.
But it's gritty. But I think
it's a gritty show. What's my cop show that was on FX?
Rookie?
No, not the Fox. That's on
ABC. ABC or Fox?
ABC. That's on ABC. 24. No, not 24.
24 is on Fox.
24 is on Fox. Gosh, what's the show?
We'll come back to Sheriff.
No, it's not that. We'll come back to it. It's a show, but like when I think of FX, I think of high drama, gritty, but I also don't think.
You're talking about Chicago PD, are you?
Not The Shield.
The Shield.
The Shield.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I think of when I think of FX. I think of The Shield more than any other show. It's Snowfall. It's
action packed all the time.
Yeah.
Shout out to The Shield. That was a dope show. I didn't get into it till like season 3. I hate that I didn't get to watch it. I didn't get to watch it live. It was a great show. Yeah. But he's definitely somebody who can legitimately move a network, and that's the thing. We're coming up on these network negotiations now. Now I know Fox SmackDown. Fox is pissed.
I would have been pissed too. Fox pissed.
Yes.
Ain't it?
Hey,
But
you
I
ever
saw a
seen?
quote.
Hold up,
Okay.
hold up. Before you say that,
Okay.
have y'all ever seen a movie called The Mist?
Yeah.
And remember the ending? Well, all you had to do was just wait a little bit longer.
Spoilers.
A little bit longer.
I just say, hey, look, man. Oh, I ain't know you never seen it before. I'm sorry.
It don't matter.
I want to get as close as I can to touching without touching.
Hey, play the world's smallest violin.
That's how close you got. That's how close Fox was.
Yeah.
To having possible, because let's be honest and let's be real. This is the time for a solid brand split now. You are so top heavy with superstars and so mid card heavy now. Now is the time for a solid brand split. And not only that, Booker T mentioned it, and y'all know it's weird for me to quote him on the pod, but I'm gonna quote him. He said it about 10 years ago. Well, no, let's see. Punk's been gone for 9 years. So he said it about 7 years ago. He said that Punk needs to calm down talking about, the Brock Lesnar's and talking the way he is, because one day he's going to want one of these part-time deals. One day he's going to want to be one of the superstars who comes in, gets paid, and then doesn't have to be there weekly. Fast forward 9 years and look where we're at. He is now officially right now in the place that WWE wanted to make for Edge before Edge decided he wanted to go out there and still take bumps week after week. Punk has it made right now. Punk don't have to show up weekly. Punk don't have to take big bumps weekly, and he's still gonna get paid. And apparently he signed a 5-year deal. It is a multi-year. It is a 5-year deal, and it's a 7-figure a year deal.
Shout out to TKO. Shout out to Endeavor for getting these guys and gals their money.
So apparently with TKO does not mind paying WWE superstars. They're used to paying about 17% in merchandise and gates with their talent in UFC. They're not paying anywhere near that in WWE. So a $5 million a year contract with a superstar means nothing to them now. So we are going to start seeing legendary money being signed, because apparently right now there is a no fire. Like, they're still going to do a little budget cut and trim some fat. Right. But anybody who wants to leave that's actually being planned for or has creative, there is a big push now to re-sign everybody because they can afford to do it now.
That fourth brand coming up. It's coming. Need it soon.
But I saw a quote, and we're going to end the Punk talk right now with a quote about Punk, actually. But before I read the quote, and we got to be honest, WWE, since this merger is rolling, like they have a clear leadership at the top. There's continuity. They're handling a bunch of situations a lot better than they have been the last couple of years.
Right.
Even contract negotiations and disputes. I saw a quote that says, "The grass isn't greener on the side. It's greener where you water it." And you know what? That truer words have never been spoken. Punk had a lot of opportunity to do a lot, but he was like, you know what? Where's my money tree at? Let me go ahead and go back. So it is what it is.
But he effed around and found out, though.
He effed around and found out.
Got it. But you never know until you actually venture off into your destination and venture.
Drew, Cody,
the wise man told him, you're not going to get your fulfillment. You're not going to get what you want to get until you leave and come back.
Ask Drew and Cody.
You got until it's gone.
Yeah, you don't know what you got until it's gone. Ask Drew and Cody. That's how it is.
Other names you listed earlier.
Yeah, the names we listed earlier, because ain't nobody's gonna push a lot of the wrestler content the way WWE does. Because I'm sorry, but they're second to none still with their production. Their video packages are
better.
Even with Punk, they added the CMPunk tab on Peacock, and it was just all his moments.
Yeah,
I was just like y'all, come on. My man had a shirt ready the night he came out, and it sold out on the internet.
Shout out to Trips too, because guess what? The fact that man just let that man walk in there ain't telling nobody.
Shout out to Triple H for bringing us back to no spoilers and secrets and everything. Thank you.
Because we knew if he told somebody in his team, that was going to leak bad.
That just made everything better. Trips is doing it well, which actually makes sense why we didn't get the Randy reveal Monday. Now it makes all the sense in the world, and it makes it better. Speaking of Randy, WarGames was Saturday. WarGames was lit. The women showed out, and turned up. The women turned up.
Man, showed they behinds.
Charlotte being a part of WarGames the same night as Cody being a part of WarGames was an amazing shine to the legacy of professional wrestling. You had a Rhodes and a Flair in WarGames on the same night. You just can't beat that. You can't beat that. Zoe and Rhea had a decent match.
I thought Zoe had a shot for a second.
I thought Zoe had a shot. It was nice. When she didn't hit her with the Z360, I was like, okay, it's over with. Like, no matter what happens now, it's over with.
So before that, can I say something real quick?
Go ahead.
So when it comes to the women's war game match, I just want to make sure I wasn't the only one to see it. When it came to Bayley, it felt like Bayley was trying to save everybody, and it just really wasn't.
Everybody.
She was like, she was getting in there.
She was moving to get in position. She was running to try, and she saved and not even just that, but she saved everybody on her team from getting pinned. She saved everybody at least once.
But nobody saved her.
Nobody saved her.
And so is this the beginning of
the turn? The turn is coming. And you know what? I was gonna save this for another episode of the pod, but I'm gonna say it. Sasha Banks is coming home. I'm just going to say it. Sasha Banks is coming home.
You heard it here first at Beyond the Bell Podcast?
You heard it here on November the 30th, 2023 at 21:23 hours. Sasha Banks is coming home. I'm going to say it. I'm going to stand on it because I did the same thing with Punk, but I wasn't standing on business. You know, hey, look, you can do that all you want. You can fall asleep all you want. That's another needle mover. That's another person that at this point in life and career, she's one of the last big free agents out there, especially with Will Ospreay being signed now.
Rough.
It's legitimately the point now where, with Trips realizing the era of Vince's ways, he's about to go get all his kids back. I wouldn't be surprised, ladies and gentlemen, if Malachi Black didn't come back. I would not be surprised if Andrade comes back. I would not be surprised if we see Miro coming back eventually. And
he got a while to go. He got a while to go.
He like
Miro got a character now.
He loves to sign long deals.
I love that. I love it.
I'm gonna go ahead and say this. Cody Jade is setting up Ricky Starks coming. Ricky Starks is coming.
Hey, throwing that alley.
And Ricky Starks could legitimately end up being the face of NXT or whatever the fourth brand is going to be or whatever. Because they're going to need a young face for the CW move to NXT. They're going to need, people are already – we're very familiar with Braun Breaker. We're very familiar with Carmelo Hayes.
Time to move on.
That move to CD is going to need to be somebody else. It's going to need to be somebody new, fresh, but has all the charisma in the world to carry a brand. That's Ricky Starks. You heard it here first, though. Sasha Banks is coming home. If I'm wrong, I have no problem being wrong. That's never been my issue. But Sasha Banks is coming home. Like, after watching what Trips did to get CM Punk back here, like, put his bygones, let bygones be bygones and put his pride to the side.
Never say never.
Never say never. And I know he probably feels some type of way after the Trinity and everybody's like, well, what about Trinity?
No.
Did we not see Mickie James in the Royal Rumble as the Impact Women's Champ?
Yes,
never say never. Trinity can do the same thing. Trinity can do the same thing.
Open the door.
Never say never. But we got a dope lucha match. Dragon Lee and Santos Escobar was a dope lucha match.
For sure.
Thankful we got his theme back because his theme is tough. I mean, the LWO theme was okay, But that Legado.
But yeah, because the crowd just,
Yeah. Give it some time. He's going to be a major heel player in the next year.
I'm glad he did it, though. The way that he did it I mean, I know Ray got hurt. And, heels up to Ray, make sure that, you get back, finish your career. I know he got maybe like a year left after that. But, like, the heel turn for, I'm about to say Andrade. Lord, I want him to come back.
Come back now. You want him to come back?
Hey, look. Hey, big fast, because I think Santos and his turn is going to be immaculate, and Trips is really going to take his time because Trips sees the good in Santos. Trips been wanting to do this with Santos for so long, even since back the NXT days. So the matchup, I'm glad they brought Dragon Lee up. Dragon Lee is definitely the next head of Lucha Wrestling. Like, we already know it, we see it.
Absolutely, he's the next Rey Mysterio. We see it, and he can go. Like, every time they kept trying to force that on somebody like a Sin Cara. Like, I mean, because let's be honest, Mystico can go, but he can go in the lucha style.
Right.
Dragon Lee can just go.
No,
like, he can just flat out go. There's and it's clean. It's not sloppy. It's not. He can just go.
And take a hell of a bump. Take a hell of a hard hitting bump.
He sells very well. So I'm definitely excited for that. What else do we have? WarGames tonight. Miz and Gunther put on a good show. Miz had me for a second. I was thinking that he had me for a second. He did. I was thinking that he had me twice. He had me after the low blow. I was like, oh, because that'll be a good way to beat Gunther. Don't let it be clean.
30.
And then when Gunther put the Boston Crab on him and he went to climb to the rope, I was like, okay, we're gonna get a rope break. Nope, false finish. Brought him back. Hit him with the Lion Tamer. It was over.
That was it.
So, like, are they trying to make that his secondary finisher now? Like,
they've experimented with so many because nothing he does looks finisher. His power bomb is not there. His clothesline is not a finisher. The splash, they gave it to Bronson Reed. So
the splash even looks. I mean, Gunther. Look,
he's not big Gunther anymore, so the splash don't look as damaging.
His knees hit the ground first before the splash looks even effective. So I don't know.
So what would have been? I'm trying to lead this to something. I think. What would it have been if Miz would have won the championship?
What would it have been to wrestling?
It would have been.
What would have been to the Intercontinental title?
It would have been another defining moment in the history of the Intercontinental Championship.
I guess I'm not asking the question correctly. Would he have broken the record if he won?
No,
he would have tied.
He would have tied. So remember, he would have tied Jericho. So remember what I said.
Understand. Lion Tamer could have.
Okay. Was that a shot? Okay. Maybe. Never know. Like I said, remember we had the private conversation about it. I think if this was for him to go for his 10th Intercontinental title run, he could have beat Gunther.
He got it. Yeah,
I'd have been fine. That would have been beautiful. But him using this run to tie the record would mess up what he could have done with the 10th run, because after you do this, after you topple one of the final bosses, because we have 2 final bosses, it's Gunther and Roman.
Yeah.
What else can you do to make it?
Well, and then who would you drop? Like, you would drop it.
And then who does he drop to?
Like, I mean,
but that is why I think, and you're hearing it here first again, Beyond the Bell podcast at 21:30 hours on November the 30th. I think Jey Uso is the man to beat Gunther. If you need somebody that is as over as possibly, if you need somebody that's as over as a face as Gunther is a heel, it's main event Jey Uso. And I'm only also saying that you have him beat it at, you have him winning at the Rumble. You have him winning at the Rumble. And the only reason I say you have him winning at the Rumble, because if you give it to him in the Elimination Chamber, fans are going to be looking for Jimmy to interfere and cost him the belt. I don't want that, because I want their match to be for the Intercontinental Championship at Mania.
But we got to keep it open though, because we already know how it
we got to keep it open. But I look at it, because we've never really had a major NOI versus NOI feud, especially not one for a title, not a major one. I definitely want, if they're gonna give them that spotlight at Mania, and it's not gonna, and of course with the Usos being one of the greatest tag teams of all time, they're not gonna main event either night now. but Jay is Jay, and hopefully Jimmy will be a little more of a threat by then. Have it for the IC strap. Make it personal, because that was what always made the Intercontinental titles at a Big Four feel special, was a personal blood feud. Like just like a nice, like, oh my God, like I want to see them kill each other over the belt. Like The Rock and Triple H in that ladder match at Survivor Series.
Because that build up to that was just crazy.
And it seemed like they were like blood rivals. Like they were rivals in elementary school, middle school, high school, and now they're like, that's what it felt like. And that's what we love as wrestling fans. Like, I want to feel like y'all really don't like each other. Especially now with kayfabe being so gone and guys taking pictures backstage with each other, playing the game, going on trips. We know who rides in cars together.
Videos too,
doing TikTok videos with each other. Like, we know who does what. So it's like, but I want to feel like that again. And the Jimmy and Jay thing, especially with Solo having to possibly at that point choose a side.
Hey, mess around with Solo on Brock match. I don't know. Shoot.
And that's another reason why I want that belt off of Gunther, because they're not going to put Brock against the Intercontinental Champion.
It's not happening.
It's not feasible. And that's also where CM Punk becomes a disruptor, because CM Punk is probably going to change a few creative ideas along the way. For guys like an LA Knight, your position at the top of the card may now take a bump. You're not going to fall back down the card, but from you going after the world championship, you might be a U.S. title contender now, and that might be your ceiling.
But wasn't that the plan for LA Knight the whole time, though?
I mean, they haven't said what his plan is. They haven't said, because LA Knight legitimately could be world heavyweight champ. They could take that. He could be that.
Trips made a comment. He was like, he said something like, you've seen where he's been. The reason why he fell out of the company was because of him. But as you come back and you put in that work, we'll just see where it goes. So honestly, it's just to see where it goes situation with LA Knight, and the fans' reactions, the time he puts in the work, the big payoff, hopefully it comes, but I mean, I pray it doesn't end up like Shinsuke. We said the same thing with Shinsuke. Shinsuke came over, he did what he did. And
unfortunately, Shinsuke is just now. This is his best. This is the best he's looked on the main roster. That's sad.
Yeah.
True.
We just need his old thing back. Heel thing.
Man, look, listen. When that Joker came out Monday night,
boy,
it was so clean.
Hey. And a lot of people are upset about the Cody story, because they're like, "Oh, that's just somebody else to feed. That's just somebody else to feed to Cody."
No,
what Cody's story is, though. Cody's story is redemption. Cody's story is he fell all the way back down the ladder after losing at Mania, and this. Like something, like I said on our very first episode, sometimes predictability is okay. This. And Shinsuke losing to Cody does not hurt Shinsuke. It's Cody. My man beat Brock Lesnar clean. Like you know what I mean? It's not like he's losing to Humberto Carrillo in 3 minutes. Shout out to the Latin Wolves. They put on a phenomenal tag team match on NXT this past week. I don't like that he hit the butterfly sit out pile driver, but and it was only a 2 count. But hey, whatever. The Latin Wolves, the LWs,
apples and oranges.
I tried it. It didn't work out.
Yeah, it's okay. But Jay is a name that I think should definitely be in contention for Intercontinental Champion, because, like you said, y'all was doing it. This right here is over.
It's over like Rover.
Like Rover. Logan's not going to hold that U.S. title long. I could see LA Knight getting that from him. Santos is a possible feud for LA Knight. I don't know what we're doing with Bronson Reed. I don't know what that's going to be or whatever. We'll see what happens with that.
I think with Bronson, they're just making him what Omos couldn't be.
He's the new giant. Okay, I'm with that.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'm with that completely, wholeheartely.
And Ivar.
What did we? Before, because I feel like we skipped a match.
It was
WarGames.
The men's WarGames match.
It was the men's. Okay, so let's see. We had the women's WarGames, Miz and Gunther, Zoe and Rhea.
That was it.
Santos, Dragon Lee, and so it's the men's WarGame left. Men's WarGames was better than last year's action wise,
but it still had the story element too.
Still had a great story
episode.
there was some great story elements in the match. The best story, of course, being Randy picking up Damian and giving it to Cody, saying, "You take this W for your team in your daddy's match." Like that story just goes so far, because now when Randy turns on him eventually, because we know it's gonna happen.
No, it's
When
coming.
Randy,
Is either coming on him or Jay? It's either coming on him or Jay first.
So, and that was another
Great
element
hit
of the
is.
story. Jay saving Randy. I think, you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I don't know if this is the same Randy Orton from back in the day, because we got the promo with them Monday and them dapping is saying they're, you know, Randy saying we're good as long as
Well,
you stay
nigga,
out of the way of the bloodline.
But we know Randy though.
No, we know Randy, but at the same time, we also knew Randy would never ride a scooter. And you know, like this might not be the same Randy. Randy might have grown, so we'll see. I don't have faith in it, but I'm optimistic for the character development.
But we see what happened to Riddle though before that happened, though, right? They teamed. I mean, he still got his, but I think I'm calling it. Jay still gonna catch one. He got.
So does Jay catch one after?
No time soon though.
No time soon. Okay, I'm fine with that. I don't want it to be now. I let it marinate.
It's too predictable.
Yeah, let it marinate. Randy coming out, period. The pop was amazing. Yep. The teased cash-in was a great cash-in.
That was a good moment.
Yeah, that was crazy.
That was really, and even for Two to say that, because y'all know he can't stand Rhea. But that was a great moment. I was like, oh man.
Because I was genius. Because you see how the story playing off of Drew and Damian, I was like, oh yeah, my plan. I was like, what plan? Like what? I mean, what's the plan? And then when that plan off, I said,
and the story is there because I mean, in order to top Seth cashing in on Brock and Roman at Mania, you got to pick an even bigger moment. WarGames is a huge moment at a Survivor Series. That's a huge match, and for you to think to cash in there. That would have been major. So that was there. Sammy and Jay working together. Great. Cody coming in like only Cody can at this point. It's like a house of fire. Great teamwork. Great finisher spot. The 5 rope draped hanging DDTs in unison was a dope spot.
Shout out to JD too. JD Madonna out there getting his.
Shout out to JD Madonna taking a top 7 all-time RKO.
Because I know it hurts.
He flopped just straight into it. Like he sold chest and everything. He just sold it. Shout out to JD McDonough. He's definitely an unsung hero of Judgment Day, period. Let alone just that match. He's definitely a major part of Judgment Day. And that's how we could actually see Damian Priest falling out of favor is once JD gets in there with Finn and gets that ear, they all could jump Damian out.
Well, I think they were teasing. They were teasing.
They're teasing. The teases, the subtle teases are there. Mm-hmm. There's still a lot of elements left to the Judgment Day story that allows them, even with Punk coming back, to still be a focal point.
But we know Damian's not the leader though. Now.
But we know Damian's not the leader now. Not now. Especially.
Hey, Rhea said it to him.
Yeah, Rhea been the leader.
Yeah, we know that you tried your best, you had your effort, and you lost.
You lost.
You got to take that L as a leader. But to me, as Rhea the mommy, I don't take L's. I'm sorry.
Look, like Randy said, Daddy's home.
But but Rhea said there's only everybody can be daddy.
Nothing else. I was waiting for like a kid on Christmas morning, but it didn't happen. I was
kayfabe or not, Seth was pissed. We've all seen vids and memes of the truth. And listen, a shoot is just a work is just a well-written shoot.
But damn it, that was correct. Like you felt the.
I felt the FUs. I felt the F bombs. I felt them. No, I felt them.
Like I said, even if it is kayfabe, whatever, it don't matter. The fact that Michael Cole and Corey Gray is sitting there like, hey man, it's all right, calm down. No, he better leave, or when I get back there, I'm gonna bust his ass. I'm like,
okay. I mean, Seth was tight. I love the feud. They have history from NXT days. They have history from the Shield days. They're like, there's a good bit of history there. I'm down with that feud if that's the feud y'all want to give to us. Eventually, you'll probably get the Punk and Roman feud. Hey, whatever, don't care. I don't think it needs to be for a belt. If y'all are going to give us that feud, I think Paul Heyman involvement and where's Paul's real allegiance.
That's what I was thinking. That's exactly what I was thinking. It's kind of like the Brock and Roman situation. Yeah,
that's the Brock and Roman thing. That's enough. Yeah, that's enough.
So I think that happens after Mania because you got to get, if you're gonna do Seth and Cody, I mean, if you're gonna do Seth and Punk at Mania, hey, go ahead for it. You know, it's there. You got the story. You already see the little teasers, and this is the nice stretch to where you can play the cards right on that stretch to Mania, because this is the time where we about to get some exciting storylines, especially with coming up to the Rumble. So it's gonna be a wild ride. I'm just telling you.
Oh no, y'all know this is my favorite stretch. The January to April time in wrestling is my favorite part of the year.
I ain't lying, because I'm like, hey, bro, you watching?
WrestleMania, I don't miss a Raw or SmackDown or NXT from January to April, because that WrestleMania season is real. It is.
Stand and Deliver the last 2 to 3 years.
Last 2 years have been fire.
Fire.
Shout out to Gunther versus Ciampa. That was one of the matches that Stand and Deliver that people forget about. That was a classic.
Say it again.
Gunther versus Gunther versus Ciampa at Stand and Deliver.
Not yet.
That was not yet. Gunther versus Roman, not yet.
Not yet.
That's also another reason why I want that belt off of him, though. I want that IC belt off of him because off of Gunther, because you can potentially get him to take that belt off of Seth, or potentially off of a freshly face turned Damian Priest, and you can give us the Brock match that way. There's just so many different variations that can happen once Gunther loses that belt, because we don't know what's going to happen for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania this year. That's the beautiful thing about it. We don't know who's going to be the champion going in. We don't,
Honestly, if we being real, this is just me playing devil's advocate. I think if you want to make the move right, and you don't want the Money in the Bank to go to waste 2 years in a row, I think some way, somehow, Royal Rumble, if I don't know if Seth's in a match or if he's in the Rumble, I don't know. Shit. I mean, you put it together. You put it together for Damian to get it, because if you don't pull it, he's not going to get it after he loses. Like we just gonna call a spade a spade. I just don't see a perfect world where Damian wins the world.
Yeah, I think he's officially killed. They've officially killed the potential for his cash in now. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think he can cash in and win the belt unless it's, like I said, it's off of a face turn, and he just, because it's just weird, because it's so weird now. And I think the hardest part about it is we were so spoiled and then not spoiled. And I mean, the Attitude Era. You were a little younger. You don't remember what it was like having 7 top superstars vying for one belt. It was only one belt.
It was tough.
Like, it was weekly, where it was like somebody could always be champion. When you had Austin, Rock, Taker, Kane, Mankind, and then you started to get into the Triple H stretch, and all of them were possibly vying for the one world title. None of them were in the mid-card title chase. It was like, who the hell gonna be champ? Like, it was hard. So, like, now we're at that point, and like Cody mentioned at the press conference, we're at the point now where there is a plethora of good guys again. There's a plethora of baby faces now. And it's like, wow, but who's going to be champ? There's a plethora of heels. It's WWE. There's been a lot of heels for years now. Yeah. But there's a plethora of heels now. Who's going to be the disruptor in that avenue? So it's just, there's a lot that's going on and that's going to happen. I for one, like I said, this is my favorite time. I almost love WrestleMania season as much as I love Christmas and Thanksgiving, because we get so much. Like, the little kid in me still gets presents.
Right.
WrestleMania season,
little sprinkle,
little sprinkle,
little here, little there.
Yeah, a little Christmas dust here. So, but I love this season, especially the build up and especially like the lead-ins, where it's just like, how are we gonna start this week off after last week, and then you get the, a random brawl or whatever. Like, it's just, there's so much. But the Royal Rumble is my favorite Big Four pay-per-view, but it's also my favorite gimmick match. So,
that was not supposed to really get over like it was supposed to. Like,
I don't think the Royal Rumble was supposed to be
that.
They didn't have, because it took them a while before the winner actually even got a world title shot. But it's just like now we're at the point to where,
Said it was 93 when they did that.
Yeah, 93. With the Yoko. Yoko was the first one. Like, and that was after you had
WrestleMania 9.
And that was after you had Hogan win it twice already. And Yoko was the first one to get a world title shot coming off of a Rumble win. So it's just always been, oh my God, Jalen Brunson is going off right now. I'm so sad he's on my bench. Gosh. But I'm still going with the matchup this week.
All the points are just going to waste.
He's got 52.7 fantasy points right now, just going to waste right now, bro. Look, I fell down. But this is a very interesting and beautiful time to be a wrestling fan. I know it seems like we're focused heavily on WWE right now, y'all, but at the same time, to all our fans, understand it's what's important right now. Now, we are going to talk about AEW, especially in our final segment, because our producers have let us know that the one and only Mr. Blkoutjones has some words and some words of encouragement for AEW in the "You Guys to Do Better" segment. So, and I think that's what we should do. When we mention it, we got to whisper it because we can't put the emphasis on it like he does. So, in the "You Guys to Do Better" segment, guys to do better. In that segment, he has some words of encouragement for Tony Khan and AEW, but we're almost there. Raw was fire. You know what? I'm gonna take that back. Raw was
okay.
Raw was flames. It wasn't fire. It wasn't but
what is
it
flames? Is it flames okay or
flames is okay, like one or two open little flames, like how you a kid, you squirted a little bit of lighter fluid on the ground and threw a match on it and it lit like that. Yep. Not It was a fireball. It was a fireball. We'll say it was a combustible fireball. It was the Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior at Halloween Havoc fireball.
I was going to say, as long as it wasn't that fireball, but
it was that fireball. Dom. So Randy did for Dom what Taker did for Randy at WrestleMania 21. That was his sink or swim. Let's see where you are moment. And Dom, it looked like passed with flying colors.
Yeah, he did that. He
loved the match, loved everything that happened, loved the selling. Randy looks like he is on the juice. I mean, Randy.
Well, we disagree.
He ain't on the juice, but he on something.
He's been at home for a year and a half. We talked about this. It's just like, hey, when you ain't out there every day, you got that time to.
Yeah, but he also had a debilitating, possible, almost retiring back injury. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like he was home all year, like working out all year. For the first half of that, of that stretch, he was down, and it was worried that he might have to retire. Like,
and
the
fear workouts too, because he can't really lift heavy during that.
Yeah, he couldn't lift heavy. So Randy, I'm impressed. I'm guaranteeing that he probably is a graduate of DDP yoga. I'm guaranteeing it.
Himself,
I know it works. I've seen it work. So, but they had a great match. Randy's first match back on Raw, cool. Randy's promo on Raw, cool. Of course, ingraining him in the beginning, right now already initially with the Judgment Day. Love it. Put him with your hottest angle. That RKO he hit on the Funko Pop was hilarious. JD got a head like a Funko Pop, bro. I'm sorry. Yeah. He is a blockhead cat, dog. Like that dude is chiseled. That dude, he got the strongest jaw.
You know who he is? He's the Crimson Chin. That's who he is.
He is. That's Tessa Blanchard. That is Tessa Blanchard. Shout out to Tag Team Turmoil. DIY started, and the reaction is still lackluster because the theme is still booty.
Booty.
The thick, bro, get out my head. Get out my head. Booty butt cheeks. That is arguably one of the. I would rather have them come out to the American Males theme song.
Oh wow.
American males, American males, American males, American males, American males, American males.
You could have did
American males,
Biscuit
American males, American males, American. I would rather them come out to that. You know what? I would rather them come out to the Right to Censor John than come out to what they come out to now.
Wait, hold on, version 1 or version 2?
Version 1, the obnoxious John.
Because version 2 is alright.
I would rather them come out to version 1 than what they come out to, but they ended up turning up in tag team turmoil. My biggest fear happened, of course, which was DIY versus the Creeds. I posted it on the Chop Shop post. I jinxed myself. It happened. Brutus has to learn to deliver that Doomsday Brutus ball better. Or they need to change their finisher, because I'm pretty sure Giovanni Vinci is injured.
Oh, for sure. You can tell it.
Like I said, man, you need to change that finisher because you're going to end up hurting somebody.
You're going to end up hurting somebody.
Because the thing with him is, normally with your finishers, you can kind of catch yourself. You can't catch yourself.
You can't catch yourself because he's going that way. Now, if he would jump into the opponent with his head here and hit him that way and then be able to fall back, but he doesn't. I don't think the thinking of that is there yet. Julius Creed is a future world champ. Yes or no?
I need a little bit more time.
You need a little more time? Okay.
I need a little bit more time. Especially
I say yes to that
singles.
right now.
Yeah, singles I need to see.
He's got it. Whatever it is, he has heaps of it. That boy is impressive. He's athletically gifted. Right now. He has. I'm gonna tell you exactly who Julius Creed reminds me of in ring. 1987, 1988 Sting. That is who Julius Creed reminds me of in ring.
That's some high praise right
all gas, no brakes, charisma.
Yeah.
He might not have any charisma on the mic, but if he's in that ring, you feeling what he doing. That double lift into the, and he's I don't even want to say deceptively strong, because he doesn't have the shape. Like, you know how some guys will have a decent shape and you're like, okay, he could be strong. He still has strong. Slim arms.
Strong off rip.
He's strong. That boy is farmer boy strong. Like, I lift boulders and eat goat meat strong. And it's impressive because, don't get me wrong, we know he was a collegiate wrestler at Duke, but the way he's picking up, like, Giovanni Vinci's not a little dude. No. And the way he's picking that dude up is wild. Indashare got a little camera time. Hey, whatever.
Good for them.
Good for, it's always nice to see gender Maha. You can't hinder the gender.
Please don't.
The modern day Maharaja can't hinder the gender. Hey, that's a former WWE champion you talking about.
That was my
I'm talking about too. Thou shalt not besmirch the good name of
I'm not. Because
Maharaja.
Oh my God, Jinder Mahal won the belt.
The modern day Maharaja.
Exactly.
You can't hinder the gender. So
shout out to Greg Hiley for having a baby.
Who?
You can't hinder the gender. Yeah, shout out to Greg Khali for having a baby. Indashare got a little bit of screen time, but DIY knocked him out real quick.
But not as much as you would think, because as much as they try to put them as a force.
I think Indashare is going to end up being your heel tag team for your overseas division. That's what I'm thinking. Whatever Triple H is going to end up calling that, I think that's where he's going to end up.
You know what
they're going to end up going.
They need to end up calling these tag team splits. That's what they need to end up calling. They need to split them ASAP. Oh Lord.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
What happened? I don't know what happened.
Oh Lord.
Oh.
But he'll be back shortly.
He'll be back shortly. But I feel like, man, just the tag team division is, I think for the men's, it's had a good standing, but for women, I didn't too much care for the little tag team match between Natalya, Tegan Knox and
Chelsea Green
and Piper Nivens.
That was for the belts, wasn't it?
You said it was what?
Yeah, it was for the belts.
It was.
Oh yeah. So it was for the belts.
It wasn't. It was a hit.
Yeah. So for as long as it lasted, it really wasn't giving me what I thought it was gonna give me.
No.
You have Kaden and Katana. I spoke about this with somebody at WrestleCade. I feel like when you have these premier women that you bring up and they've only been featured twice, why not give them the rub that they need to put them and skyrocket them into that scene? Because
I'm all for K and K Love. I'm all for it. I don't think it's time for them yet. I think Trips is saving them for like a WrestleMania women's tag team title win.
But
because that's where you have to send the fans home happy. WrestleMania is the stretch where if you got 9 matches, only 2 heels are winning. And apparently he's really high on Chelsea Green. I'm
high on Chelsea Green too. But the thing is, with the Sonya Deville injury, that really messed the stride up because they were the premier tag team.
They were the tag team. I mean, and not to not like Piper Niven. It's just she's kind of.
My wife now.
I'm gonna tell Xia Li on you.
Yeah, watch it.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, now don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. Like I said, listen, and I tell listen, and you can call me a snitch. Don't do nothing illegal around me, because I ain't getting shot or going to jail for nobody. So TJ, I'm gonna tell Xia Li on you. You better watch him out, son.
Yeah,
bro. Why did I put my charger?
I had to zip it.
Bro, I put my charger and my iPad went from 2% to 9%. Like the second I turned, like, sheesh, what if that fast charge? Them fast chargers can't be no good for our batteries, yo. Because ain't no way. Yeah, it was like, but I agree with you definitely on your point, Trigger. I'm a diehard Kaden and Katana Chance fan. Like I love them to death. I definitely want them to win the tag titles. I think Trips is trying to get them over organically with the crowd, especially because they have the theme song and the air joints, and he wants them to be as over as they can before they get the belts. Because unfortunately and realistically, we already know once the team gets them belts, that's pretty much the best they gonna do.
Yep.
Like that, getting those belts are the last team to actually elevate those titles and make them feel relevant was Bayley and Sasha when they won them belts. So it's just kind of hard. It's just really hard to be women's tag team champs in WWE. Unfortunately, they never. I wish that Trips would have watched more Impact. Well, I'm sorry, TNA, and studied how the Knockouts tag team champions and the Knockouts division went, so that he could have some groundwork to go off of. Tony Khan should have did the same thing because their women's division ain't hitting on nothing except Tony Storm. That's it, and Julia, but that's it. Because I'm starting to lose interest in what Sky Blue is gonna do. Like I'm starting to, not there yet, but I'm starting to, because it's like, okay, the teasers are cool, but how long are we gonna tease before an actual moment happens? Like I'm not saying she's got to join House of Black right now, but I need some type of disciple moment or something. I need something to progress.
If she even joins House of Black, that could be setting up for her to beat Julia Hart for that belt.
Yeah,
but what I need from them is I need you to finally put a story behind that title.
Finally, you got it off of Statlander.
I need you to have a story.
Put a story behind it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I definitely agree with you, Sharon. Katana Chance and Kaden Carter are definitely deserving of a push. They're definitely deserving of some notoriety. Hopefully we'll get it there. Just like with the Creeds. I mean, you just saw what we did with Tag Team Turmoil with the Creeds, because DIY was getting cheered over the Creeds, and by the end of the night, the Creeds were over.
But they can work. Like when you have Tegan Knox and Natalia, I mean, to me, if you're going to push the Tegan Knox situation, let her stay by herself. I understand you trying to still feature your veteran Natalia, but I don't know why it wouldn't have been
a Tegan Knox and a Candice LeRae, or a Tegan Knox and but Natalia's not going to get any. Natalia doesn't do anything for anybody anymore. Those days are long gone.
But it's like, oh, I'm going to still show you the respect and whatnot. The match went a little bit too long than I liked.
Longer, yeah.
So my thing is, if you're going to push these tag titles, stop having the meaningless tag matches. That's my only gripe with the women's division. Have a tag team women's division that you can look at and not just be like tag team turmoils like every 2 weeks. Just have a strict storyline, go with it, give something for the women to go for. I like what they're doing with Xia Li. I like that they're making her a formidable heel against some of your top talent. Yeah, she's taking a
you
loss.
you don't have to go over to get over.
Right.
Like,
And she
don't
have to win. Right. And she's winning. I mean, she's either winning or she's losing. So she's getting the best of both worlds. So I think where we at now, we just get a good setup of talent, especially with Becky. Becky's been more of that women's talent that's putting over the younger talent.
She's doing the jobs, but she's also helping a lot of people get over it. And then you give her a big win at Survivor Series. So now next time she loses, it's big again. Like they know how to reset her. I just wish they knew how to do it for everybody.
That's tough though.
True.
It's hard, no, but it is. It's hard. No, it's hard to. Like, you can't do it with everybody. It's like you're not going to be able to reset Ivar. So where Ivar is now is the best he's going to get. So you have to ride this wave of momentum as long, because I know you said it was in a bad match. I didn't really necessarily enjoy the Bronson and Ivar match. I definitely, to me, neither one of them work well with the other size. Like, they do better. You know, Bronson does better with the Ricochet. Ivar does better with a Kofi or an Xavier. You know, they can deliver though. You know what I mean? Bronson can wrestle. He can go with anybody. Ivar he's been showing since Ring of Honor that he can go with anybody. So
I think it's just the reps for them, like in ring with each other, like getting that one-on-one tension. Because like I said, you got both big men getting on the
house show circuit. They need to go on the house show circuit immediately and get some chemistry built. Absolutely.
Yeah. Because I think it would be a big hitting match. Like, to me, your two biggest big men that are actually big is Ivar and Bronson Reed.
That can slap meat. Like,
honestly, I don't see Omos coming back anytime soon. I just don't know where he goes unless they go overseas. Once they do,
WWE UK or whatever it's going to be called.
What's the where's he from again? I don't want to say Nigeria because I don't.
Who?
Omos.
Yeah, he's Nigerian giant.
Okay, yeah. So, you know, some people be claiming, you know, so I want to make sure I come correct because, you know,
they need to give him his old theme back too. That old theme was hard. That
just like with Matt Riddle. I was mad when they took Matt Riddle theme.
Yeah, that old theme was hard. Speaking of Matt Riddle, shout out to Matt Riddle for trying to use CMPunk to keep some relevance about his name because nobody's asked or thought about you since you got released, my guy.
Really?
I told y'all last episode.
Nobody. Look, Randy thriving without you just that quick, and we wanted Randy to turn on you so we could get you more over. And now Randy's out here living his best life. So I don't
living the best life.
So I'm upset because we didn't get the full commercial-free hour.
Yeah,
8:55 they cut it off.
They say, hey, we need these commercials to start rolling in. We got to make this money on these sponsorships and stuff.
Yeah,
I was upset. Now, don't tell me you'll give me a commercial-free hour and then you cut it 5 minutes early just so you can get Cody, on the network at 9:01. Don't do that. Don't do that. Like, you lied. You lied to me.
But like, you know what else upsets me about that? Like, they didn't have Cheez-It commercials, but they had WWE commercials.
Yeah, they had WWE shop commercials and shit.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, y'all see how Cody moved that Stardust out the way?
I didn't.
Woman in front of that Stardust.
Because I wasn't watching at that moment. I was playing Bejeweled.
Oh, wow.
Okay, Bejeweled.
Okay, but shout out to Bejeweled on the App Store. Make sure you go check out Bejeweled.
We got no sponsorship.
Wheeler Yuta.
Oh, don't worry. I'm gonna give y'all a WY before I give y'all a guys to do better.
Yeah, but Raw was pretty all right.
Raw was all right. Raw, it was cool. Like I said, the Priest face turn is coming. Hopefully, Cody nominates us. He's the number one as the Rumble. He's the first Rumble entrant.
Right.
Shinsuke hits him with the mist. Cool moment. That was actually a really clean mist.
Yeah, it was.
But you know, hey, NXT was dope. The Latin Wolves are bringing back cohesion in tag team wrestling.
Right.
They hit one move where Buddy was in a gory special, and Humberto Carrillo front flipped over the top rope and pulled him into a cutter off of Angel's back, and then Angel hit the ropes and hit him with a drop. I was just like, wow, the attire's dope. Like I said, he hit a butterfly sit-out pile driver, and it only went for 2. Did not like that. Should have been the finish of the match, or don't do it at all if they're not going to win, because that just hurts the move.
Right. It hurts to sell. Like we
it just
talked
hurts.
about this episodes ago when we had the look, I don't even want to talk about that crap. That was ridiculous for wrestling. 3 back-to-back.
The Canadian Destroyers, the pop up, to get up, pow, it's stupid. Alexis King is boring. He's pretty bland. I feel like he needs a stable, and I actually wouldn't mind him getting with Brooks or getting with Jenner and Jensen and whatever to do, the Country Boys, and turning them into something and giving him a stable. But he needs something to add a little more mystique to him, because he's just not. Brian Pillman Jr. is one of those guys where we're always going to wonder what his potential is, then he'll probably never reach it, unfortunately.
He's
it's like Marcus Jordan and Michael Jordan.
Yeah. Exactly.
Jesus.
Damn.
Wait, he's going to marry Scottie Pippen's wife?
So who would be? He'd have to marry Stone Cold's wife.
For sure.
That would have to be like the evenness for that.
Yeah.
Nikita Lyons is coming back. I personally don't care.
I don't care.
Congratulations, whatever. Ilya,
she don't need to stop throwing that thing in the circle, but that's all we see.
Let's circle.
Yeah, that's all
and
we've seen her doing for the last year.
Ilya and Nathan Frazier had a match, boy.
A banger.
Look, we ain't gonna do it. It was a banger.
Hey, Ilya out here committing murder in the first degree.
Yeah, Ilya wildin'. I like what they're doing with Baron Corbin again. I'm liking what they're doing with him, giving him some shine. He can't win at Deadline. It don't make sense. But I like what they're doing. Ilya's reign hasn't gone long enough. Whoever wins it from Ilya's gonna win that at Stand and Deliver. I don't know who yet. Johnny Gargano returns to NXT and breaks the record for the most NXT matches with 105. Shout out to Mr. NXT. I've said it before. I will say it again. He was the heart and soul of the Black and Gold brand, and he is Mr. NXT.
So can I ask
105 matches on just that one brand? It's wild. It's good.
Well, I think, I don't know if I'm the only one that's seeing this. I get a feeling, the inclination that maybe Ciampa and Johnny maybe need to go back to NXT. Maybe, that's just where your fan base and your loyal fan base is.
The CW move, I could see them going back, especially now with just how stacked the mid card is. Because even as a tag team, they're not over. They're not over yet. I think they could get there, but the theme song's got to change. I'm sorry. Still, it's just booty butt cheeks. Like, the theme song got to go.
Every time they come out, boo.
I just every time they come out now, I mute my TV. Like, I just mute my TV because I can't deal with it. I'm okay with them going back to NXT. I would be fine with that and have them run the tag team division and then eventually, give it up to somebody. If that's what happens. If not, hey, whatever. I'm gonna support Tommaso Ciampa regardless, so it don't matter. We got a deadline. We got deadline coming up. We're gonna run over the Iron Survivor challenges soon. We'll do a BTB prediction post and see what we thinking about that. I actually did not like Cameron Grimes in the Fatal 4-Way. I thought it should have been Damian Priest to bring more eyes to NXT as well. I definitely thought it should have been Damian Priest in the match, even though Grimes kind of held his own. Wesley with another opportunity at Dirty Dom at Deadline. I think West goes over and he becomes a 2-time NXT North American champ, which will be cool with me. Dom has done everything he can do with that belt. He's defended it at PLEs. He's defended it, on Raw and 3 shows in a row. Main evented multiple times. Like he's done all he can do with it. So it's time to take it off of him and put it either back on West or put it with somebody. I guess if y'all want to talk about AEW tonight, we can. Maybe we can, we can. Not in a bad way. It's just because realistically, unfortunately, Punk coming back not only stifles Randy Orton's return, but it stifles Swerve's push. People went from talking about Swerve and Hank in Adam Page's match to the only thing anybody can mention anywhere now, CM Punk.
That's true.
The Continental Classic match they had last night.
AEW's business. If they don't care, they don't care.
They don't care. The Continental Classic match they had last night.
Swerve can still get his moment.
Yeah. And I'm fine. And I'm happy for him if he gets it. I'm gonna watch it. I'm just
right.
It just sucks that his moment has happened now that AEW's dropped the ball so much to lose Jade Cargill, Cody, and now CM Punk.
That is Swerve's fault.
Dang, like
that is
he's getting fault. No, it's not his fault at all. I don't blame him at all. I feel bad for him that it's happening now.
Right.
You think that's going to put some kind of asterisk on his?
No, absolutely not, because devoted wrestling fans are still going to support him and want to see him win. Yeah. It's just they're not going to be as inclined to tune into Dynamite or Collision or Rampage as much now because Punk's gone. The big move happened, and we're about to approach WrestleMania season. So, the Continental Classic tournament is happening. Swerve won that match against I was surprised. I was surprised Swerve went over. Like I said, Dante Martin came back from Top Flight. Congratulations. Yeah. Welcome back. Back after that gruesome injury. We pray that leg holds up going forward, because as we all know, any type of injury becomes a mental thing, and he looked sharp and crisp out there, but you just never know what he's going through. So you hope it's not something.
And they showed it like it won't nothing. I was just like, oh my God.
We got an MJF and the devil thing happening again. Like I said, now that we know Punk is not the devil, it's pretty much over for that storyline.
Not yet.
Jack Perry.
Not yet.
Don't do it.
It all depends on who's under that mask.
It really does. But I don't know if anybody's left.
It could be a swerve.
That's where it's going to go. You're either going to go here or you're going to go here.
So
they know in between.
So Black, I think with your point too is that people may know what was coming, but they may like, yo, if we do this, we already know this is like company suicide. So let's switch it up and try to go somewhere else.
Oh, there's a switch up that's taking place.
Yeah.
Whomever is supposed to have been, they're not that no more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So now you got to up your game, and it got to make sense. So, I hope for the best. If not, well, you know me. You know how I get down. And I won't say that right now, but the ones that know me, these guys here, they know what's up. I've already spoken about it. I don't have to say it right now. It will, but I don't have to say it. You'll see it.
I actually think this is actually a very. Oh well. Before we say that, before we hit y'all with the final segment of the week, Wheeler Yuta is the Ring of Honor Pure Champ again.
He was our guy at PWX, man. He was our
Wheeler Yuta.
He was our guy.
Man.
I guess.
He was our guy.
His
run is one of those runs where it was without a belt.
Yeah.
That's exactly
what it is. Absolutely.
That's what that was. Just trying to get to the Blackpool Combat Club. That was the one. And then once he got there, it was kind of like, okay.
Yeah. It was something about him going to Blackpool Combat Club that it soured him. Yeah, it soured him for me for some reason. Like I just genuinely did not care anymore.
Well, because he was the pin master. He took all the pins. Nobody else could take.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. He ate so much. that it just was like,
You had to.
How much more can you eat and still look good?
yeah, you know what I mean? Like, it's over with for you. Like, it legit was over with for him. So at that point, whatever. But you know, we have a thing here we like to do with the Beyond the Bell podcast, and I'm gonna go ahead and set a little ambiance on my side. I don't know about y'all, but
a little ambiance.
A little ambiance on my side, you know.
Hey, let me go ahead and
Hey.
ambiance on my side.
Hey.
Yeah, set a little ambiance over here.
A little ambiance.
Because my brother,
I can't do all that.
My brother is about to hit y'all with the Beyond the Bell final segment, which we like to call
"You Got to Do Better."
Mm.
Hey, I like that. That looked nice.
That's really nice.
But yeah, this segment here, I'm not going to get all rowdy and rambunctious like I normally do. I'm speaking from the heart here. But before I get to that point of it, Dave Meltzer, you made the list. The reason why I say you made the list because you're out here reporting that MJF has a torn labrum and that he's still going to wrestle whatever that is now. What is it? I don't even know. The pay-per-view. But anyway, yeah, I messed that up. Who cares? I look at it like this. That should have never been mentioned. Reason why I say that, because that could have been part of a bigger storyline going into the event against Samoa Joe. But you decided to mention it. So now it's a case of, is he going to already lose the belt? Do we already know that this is what's going to happen? You could have kept it. The reason why I say you could have kept it, off of social media is because at that point, let's say the devil is Adam Cole. Then let's say he does lose his belt because of Adam Cole. And then MJF can go away heartbroken, leave AEW for a while, get healed. You know what I mean? But we wouldn't know it. You know what I'm saying? We wouldn't know he literally had a torn labrum. We just see it as Samoa Joe being the new AEW heavyweight champion because of Adam Cole. So that, my friend, you got to do better. Will you? I doubt it. Another one. This one goes out to the Young Bucks. This is a learning moment for you. As you can see, CM Punk went back to WWE. As you can see, CM Punk wasn't in WWE for 9-10 years. As you can see, CM Punk was let go on his wedding day from WWE. Fast forward, look where he's at. It's always about best for business. We talked about this before, many episodes ago. Put your pride to the side, and maybe CM Punk is not in WWE right now, but you couldn't do it. You couldn't do it. Now look where we're at. Now look where AEW is. You're on the verge of possibly losing a deal with Warner Brothers Discovery to the WWE, to your competition. Why? Because you allowed CM Punk to go to WWE. Why? Because you didn't put your big boy pants on and do what was right for business. So now this is where we are. And that, my friends, is something that you just got to do better. Put business in front of pride sometimes, man. You know what I'm saying? Your numbers may go up and you may not have half empty seats in the arena. And then this one goes out to Tony Khan. Tony Khan, I understand, using a fear for your life. That's cool. You fire CM Punk. It's whatever. You know what I mean? I mean, did CM Punk have something to do with that? Yes, he did. But you, my friend, also have to understand what's best for business. And the best for business was to, hey, sit down, talk about it. You should have actually stopped this a long time ago. We wouldn't even got to this point. But you didn't. You wasn't a boss. You was a fan. You seem a little scary too. But that's nor here nor there. But with that being said, once again, you, my friend, got to do better for like the 6th, 7th time now. You just got to learn. Like I said before, quit being a fan. Be a boss. Put on your big boy pants and do what's best for AEW. Because if you don't, and without this TV deal where it looks like it's coming to fruition, hey, you think it's bad now. Wait till later. And with that being said, Blackout Jones, I'm out. And oh, by the way, top guy out. Peace.
Man, what a
Bro, my
segment.
man. What a segment. What a final. What a BCB final thoughts.
And guess what? Everybody that was said and that got to do better segment, you made the list.
Exactly.
So I was over here just kind of spitting, and my man's hit him with a bar. He didn't finish the bar though, but my man said, "Put your pride to the side." And I was waiting for and just let stuff ride, but you didn't hit me with it. I was like, but then he hit my man's with the quit being a fan, and then I was waiting for and be a businessman. But I was like,
I know you was barring over there. I know.
Yeah, I was over here spitting, bro. I was over here moving like, ugh. But no, seriously though, that's an amazing segment, and y'all already know that segment is saved for last because Big Bro is gonna come through with the discipline. Like I said, we here at Beyond the Bell podcast. We know nothing about booking. We know nothing about talent. We know nothing about professional wrestling. Apparently, we don't know what people want. We just like to talk, just to hear ourselves talk. Even though the majority of the people that watch our show agree with just about everything we say.
Got little haters over there.
Episode 18 in the books. It has been a really great episode, y'all. I feel like we breezed through this, and time moved so much faster on this, and I feel like we didn't get to talk about as much as we wanted to, but everything we did talk about, we talked in depth, and it was great.
Right.
Next week, episode 19, the penultimate episode.
We getting closer, man. We getting closer.
That's your SAT word of the week. That's your SAT word of the week, penultimate. Look it up if you don't know what it means. Baby asked me, she was like, when are y'all done shooting? Like, when's the shooting schedule over for the year? Because I didn't realize it, bro. We put in some work this year, but
we did.
Understand something. The work that we got ready, brewing and coming for y'all next year, y'all not ready. Y'all not ready. I promise you're not ready because we got guests. Guests. We got guests, and we got some guests who are, primed and destined for big things. I don't want to, give up any names, but we got some guests on here that's coming on here that are primed and destined for the call up. But we're not gonna say who.
Get the exclusives.
We gonna have firsthand footage and interview knowledge from people who started a revolution. A matter of fact, we can go ahead and say it. Like I said, Ashe Wrestling tomorrow night. Blackout Jones, myself will be in attendance. Official Ashe merchandise still available. Go visit ASEwrestling.com. Look for Watch Ashe, and you'll be able to purchase your stream. It's $15 to support a very good cause, also to support a very beautiful vision to see. Make sure you guys go hit that. Go to Ashe Wrestling for your merchandise. If you want to see the card for who's performing, because we got some matches on there. Grady Cole Center tomorrow night. It's going to be phenomenal. The Revolutionary Darius Lockhart, hosted by our girl Big Swole.
Big Swole.
Is
shout out to Big Swole.
And shout out to Big Swole for being right about Tony Khan as well. We gonna because she caught some flag that was not deserved. Shout out to Big Swole. We gonna make sure we catch her on camera tomorrow night and let her know we say the exact same thing. We stand on business in the world. But seriously though, if you're not doing nothing tomorrow night, before SmackDown, you want to get into a light vibe. They got a Dreamville artist. I'm not gonna say who, but they got a Dreamville, Grammy nominated artist performing. They got I think a 7-match card with some current independent talent as well as a legend that I never thought we'd possibly be seeing wrestle in America, right? Let alone in Charlotte. It's gonna be a vibe, and we hear yes, D'Lo Brown on commentary. We're gonna make sure we see our fellow nation brother,
former nation brother,
our former nation brother, our former fellow nation brother. There you go, the FFNB. I feel like I might need to get that on a shirt.
Yeah. Drop it, run it.
You know what? I'm gonna have to make sure I hit him. We're gonna hit him with and this is the FFNB, the former fellow Nation brother D'Lo Brown, here with Karlitokannon and blkoutjones. But nah, if you watch, be looking out, because I guarantee you will definitely be seeing. Not only will you see Ashe merchandise, but you will see official Beyond the Bell merchandise in the stands. Support the vision. That's how we keep independent wrestling. And even not even just the independent talent, but the guys who are and girls who are contractually signed. That's how we keep them in the buildings and being able to put on great shows for y'all. So even if you're going to just go subscribe,
right?
Like, follow, share, and subscribe. Darius Lockhart on Instagram. Like, follow, share, and subscribe. Ashe Wrestling. Again, that's ASE Wrestling. Go like, follow, share, and subscribe. That it's a vision. It's something that we would not be pushing to you guys if we weren't proud to be a part of it. But the love that we felt from those guys at WrestleCade was amazing. So we definitely will be in the building to support.
Yeah, definitely, because the revolution will be televised.
The revolution will be televised. We got 2 episodes left for y'all, but I think we possibly about to go ahead and drop that exclusive Jacob Fatu interview for y'all real soon. Like I said, he does not do interviews like that, and the fact that he rocked with and he's gonna say it. Y'all will hear him say it. He rocked with us. The Beyond the Bell podcast. We stand on business, and we actually do. We stand on what we say, though. We let y'all know we're bringing y'all content that you can't find anywhere else. We're gonna try our best to bring y'all content that's engaging and that will be captivating. And more than anything, illustriously iconic, because that's who we are. We do
what we do, and we do what we do.
We does what we does when we does what we does. It's just that's who we are. We don't know how to not be them. The people over there, they y'all. We them. We them. I don't know how not to be. So. And that ain't no shade, because y'all already know we rock with Black Wrestling Podcast. We rock with those wrestling girls. We rock with the Wrestling Club. We rock with a lot of other dope content creators, podcast hosters in this circle and in this community. But we want to say thank you to everyone who shouted us out, who came to see us, anything at WrestleCade, in the streets, at the bar. Any independent talent who took the time to speak out and hang out with us. Shout out to the Zenith, TDT, and JR Miller, one of the best independent tag teams on the planet. We had a phenomenal time at WrestleCade. Tracy Myers, thank you so much for what you do for the business, and thank you for what you do for the fans. WrestleCade is phenomenal. If you haven't been, you need to get planning for next year, because it's only going to keep getting bigger and better every year. This year they were a lot more organized. It was just a show and a vibe all the way around. And like I said, the Carolina Wrestling Cartel was in the building. We won a raffle, got free shows for the whole weekend. We did what we does, and we does what we do. We showed up and we showed out. We left an impression, and at the end of the day, we stayed and enjoyed professional wrestling in its truest art form as fans with y'all. And that's what matters. Wrestling! So, with that being said, like, follow, share, and subscribe. BTB Iconics on X, at Beyond the Bell Podcast on Facebook, at Beyond the Bell Podcast on Instagram, at Beyond the Bell Podcast on Twitch, at Beyond the Bell Podcast on TikTok.
Make sure you follow the website too, beyondthebellpodcast.com. On the worldwide net.
And of course, to holler at us on Beyond the Bell Podcast on YouTube and Spotify. We appreciate all the support we've already gotten. Y'all know the independent socials. Y'all already know I'm Karlito_Cannon on everything. This guy to my immediate, technically right, but my left, this guy right here, you can find him at where on X?
Nowhere.
sorry, not on X. Yeah, you can't find it on X.
Don't find me nowhere on.
Where can they find you on IG, my brother?
You can find me at Man of Steel _BTB. Steel was spelled STEEL.
Not like he'll steal your girl. He probably will though.
I might though. Chubby Boys is coming back in fashion, so you know.
Hey, it's cold. It's cold.
Hey.
It's brick outside. In the words of my brother Trigger Trey, it's brick outside.
It's Trigger Trey's line, Mr. Steel.
And
Chubby Brothers winning. Chubby Brothers is winning again. Mr. Blackout Jones, let them know where to find you on the gram and on the X.
And on the X, y'all can find me at Joker Driver 514. On the gram, you can just find me at Blackout Jones. That's about it. I ain't got really nothing else to say after that.
And y'all know my man's up here with the longest IG name in history. Let him know where to find you at.
It's at official OVO sound _11. I know that's a lot to unpack, but guess what? Go ahead and give it that follow. Make sure y'all follow me on TikTok. It's at Sharon Knight. Y'all make sure y'all can hit my website, skmodeling.com. Make sure y'all check out the Beyond the Bell YouTube. We got some videos coming soon. Just letting y'all know we got this vlog. Wrestle K Weekend vlog is dropping real soon. Y'all stay on the lookout for that. Stay on the lookout for these interviews. Make sure y'all tap in with us because guess what? It's only the start and we getting ready to go beyond the bell.
And stay on the lookout for this merch that y'all are killing our inbox for. Y'all, the love that we get and the requests that we get, and we love it. But man, y'all killing us. We know y'all. We know the hoodies is fly. We know. Trust me.
They coming soon.
Trust me. The work that went into designing them. Trust me, it's coming. Once again, shout out to our sponsor, Prime Grind, our merchandise sponsor here. Go follow their page on Instagram at, I want to make sure I give it to you the correct way, you guys. Go. I think it's at Prime Grind Clothing.
Yes, Prime Grind Clothing.
Yeah.
Prime Grind Clothing.
It's Prime Grind Clothing?
Prime Grind Clothing.
Yeah, you had, yeah. Yes, it's Prime Grind Clothing. No spaces. Go follow them.
Tell them that Beyond the Bell sent you.
Tell them Beyond the Bell podcast sent you. It won't get you nothing off, but let them know we sent you anyway.
It won't get you nothing off yet.
You
never know. We might drop a promo code in the middle of a video just to see how many of our followers really rocking with us.
For the official Real Fans hoodie. Real Fans hoodie. Real Fans hoodie. Real Fans everywhere.
Shout out to everybody who loved the BTB chain. I got a lot of compliments on the BTB chain from Pendify. I don't like the bars here.
Yeah, get the wings off of there. Like we were trying to
the wings
all weekend.
You know, but you know, we did hit them with the karlitokannon underneath it. But shout out to the laser BTB chain. Y'all loved it all weekend, so I'm gonna wear it. I didn't initially like it, but it grew on me from the fact that y'all loved it. So. Like I said, we do this for y'all. We do this for us too, but we do this when we're like Triple H. When we know that y'all like or love something, guess what we gonna do? We gonna give you more of it. So at the end of the day, it's your boy Trigger Trey up there. It's my homie Blackout Jones, Mr. 211, and y'all already know I am karlitokannon, and this has been Beyond the Bell Podcast. Holla at y'all next week. We out.
Peace.